Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. In this episode, we are going to be doing keto bagels or gluten-free bagels. Let's go over the ingredients that you will need for this. 2 cups of about 2 to 2 1/4 cups of mozzarella cheese. I have 1.5 cups to 1 2/3 cups of blanched almond flour, 3 ounces of softened cream cheese, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 eggs, and then I have diced jalapenos and everything spiced for my toppings. And then the utensils that you're gonna be using for this right here, and I highly recommend a bench scraper for this recipe. I have my oven preheating at 400 degrees, and then I have this nonstick skillet on medium low, and I just turned it on. To that, I'm gonna add my cream cheese softened cream cheese. And you don't want your pan too hot for this because you don't want to burn your cream cheese. I'm just going to mash it down until it basically starts to melt. Adjust the heat as you needed, but you just want it to kind of cream like that. And then you will be adding your mozzarella in just a second. Okay, so it's getting really soft, so now I'm gonna go ahead and dump in my mozzarella, and you want to make sure that you mix really well. Your arm might get tired, but keep going. You want to cook it and mix it until everything starts getting really, really smooth. So this could take up to 5 minutes, depending on how hot your skillet is. Okay, this is about what we want. It's really smooth on both sides. It's pretty mixed in. Now we are going to take it off the heat and add the egg after it cools for only about 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna whisk my 1 egg while this is cooling off. Like I said, it needs about 30 seconds to a minute to cool, because if you put this egg in here while it's really hot, it's gonna scramble and then your bagels are done. And then also really quickly, I'm just going to add my baking powder and just a couple of small pinches of sea salt into my almond flour, and then just mix it up. And of course, you can do this well before you start. Okay, that's decently mixed. And now I'm going to add this egg into here, and you might have to get your hands dirty, that's okay. And I'm just going to start mixing. It's not gonna come together right away, but just keep working with it and it will. And it'll come together more once you start adding some of the almond flour. So even though it's not all completely incorporated, I'm gonna add about half of my almond flour and just slowly start mixing. Now you've got to get your hand in there. The spatula won't completely mix it. But you want to do this while it's still warm, because once it cools off, it's really hard to mix it together. I'm going to take it out. And just kind of knead it a little bit. It's not going to be like bread dough. It's going to be very different. But you're just doing this to bring it all together. All right, so I have my little dough ball here. I'm gonna take my bench scraper. If you don't have a bench scraper, just use a knife. I'm gonna divide it into half, and then I'm going to actually do 6 today. Well, I'm gonna do 8. You can make these as large or as small as you want, and they don't all have to be the same size. I'm just gonna set the pieces aside. This dough is really easy to work with, and it comes together in like 30 minutes. Okay, so you start by just rolling it out like you would Play-Doh. And they're not gonna rise a lot like normal bagels do. So here I have about a 6-inch log, I guess. I'm just going to bring the edges together, pinch them together, and that's it. No boiling these like you would a normal bagel, and they will go straight into the oven. This dough is really forgiving. If you mess up or it's very unproportionate, all you have to do is just roll it back up and it comes together really easy. You can also make these a little bit thinner and bake them the exact same way that you would the bagels, and then do like bagel sticks, or you can make little flatbreads with them. So it's a great recipe. So I ended up with only 7, and now, and they are a little bit smaller, that's okay. Now I'm gonna take my egg wash. And I'm just going to brush it over the top of each one. This helps them not dry out and it gives them a little bit of a shine. And with whatever toppings you want, it's going to help those toppings stick. So now I'm gonna season them. I'm gonna do 3 everything. You can find this at any grocery store. Grocery stores have been great in the last probably year about carrying this spice because it goes well with so much. Okay, so I have my bagels. They are going to go in my oven, which has been preheating at 400 degrees for about 8 to 11 minutes. You want to check them at the 8 marker. And side note, the jalapenos do like to slide off, so you want to make sure you kind of push down, and you can actually egg wash it twice. Egg wash all of them and then go back and do it again, and you'll have a better result with them sticking. All right, here I have a few of the bagels that are ready, and I just wanted to show you a little tip. So you can see how some of them are browned. If you don't have any seasonings on them, they will get a little brown, but you don't want them to get too brown because it'll burn the bottom. So you can see this is it's not burnt, but it is dark. You really don't want it any darker than that because remember, cheese burns really easily. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. If you would please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any requests for me to make something in the kitchen for you, please let me know, and we will see you in the next one.